Hi guys, welcome back to Racing Previews and Reviews. It's been a minute, but I'm back. I just in time too for one of Ireland's national hunt races of the season. It's Thyestes Day at Gowan Park. I promise you, if you've never been, get your ass down to Gowan Park. It's a cracking day. Hey, it's called the race that stops the county for a reason. We have a cracking seven race card off at 1 o'clock. The feature race is off at 3:05. That's the TS's handicap. The chief supporting race on the card is the Grade 2 Gamay Hurdle, another cracking race. We're going to start with the second race on the card. It's the Colonies Red Middles Irish Ladies Auction Maiden Hurdle. We've got 9 runners lined up here, but this is a great race. It's a great incentive. We get to see the lady riders that are lesser known because you have to have a claim to ride in this, what it can do and what they're all about. We've got 9 runners lined up here. The favourite is Sam's Choice for Gordon Elliott with Miss Gina Benson. I wouldn't know much about the rider, but I went back and looked at her only winner, which was the ladies' derby in the Curragh. I thought she gave that horse a cracking ride that day. A lot of the riders on this are starting to make names for themselves. Some of them already have made names for themselves. But this is what it's all about, showcasing riders that we don't know a whole pile about. And they don't even have to win the race. Sometimes finishing second or third, we can see how good they really are. And it gives them a platform. I think this is a great incentive, and hopefully we see more of these races throughout the season. Of course, we've got some well-known names here, but we've got a couple of up-and-comers. Susie Doyle, of course, she's local here near Holy Cross. Her father, Pat Doyle, a very good trainer, a lot of point-to-point winners. She's riding a few point-to-point winners, and she actually had her first winner under rules in a bumper there about a week or two ago for her dad. She gave it a very good ride that day. The favourite for Gordon Elliott, Gina Benson in the saddle, as I said, she won the ladies' derby. She's my Sam's Choice. She's my choice here. She ran a cracker in one of those big auction maidens a couple of weeks ago. The second, she was only beaten. I think it was a short head that day. Freedom to Dream won that. He went on, was placed in a grade 2. So I think Sam's Choice gets my vote here. Look, he's favourite, but I think on form, he's the one to beat. One that I would give it a little bit of a mention if we see a few quid for it is Ernie McCracken for Emmett Mullins. We all know how he's such a very shrewd man to place his horses. He's a local to the track. Mullins is love. No matter what their first name is, they love having winners here in Goran, especially on this day. Maxine O'Sullivan in the saddle. She's a super, super rider. Of course, we've seen that at Cheltenham Festival a couple of years ago, winning one of the big amateur races for her dad. And yeah, she's one to note if there's a few quid. But Sam's Choice gets my choice in the second race. And that brings us to 205. It's the Galmay Hurdle, a grade 2 over 3 miles. This race is a stepping stone to Cheltenham, but it's a very good race. Classical Dream, who's favourite for the Stayers Hurdle at Cheltenham, is short price favourite here. He's going to take all the beating. I don't really see how he gets beat here. Paul Townend in the saddle. He's short. He's 1 to 2. I might look at the distance betting if they're not over exaggerating the distance betting. I might have a little bit of a play in that. But 1 to 2, we're going to put him in with another horse later on the card. We'll talk about that later. Classical Dream gets my vote here. He's 5 to 2 for the Stayers Hurdle at Cheltenham. He'll probably shorten a little bit depending on what he does here, but he has to go and win first. And if he's going to win at Cheltenham, he needs to win here. Peter Fay's Royal Kahala, she's getting a lot of weight. She'll have to run a very good race to beat Classical Dream. But Peter Fatty's horses are in tremendous form. Kevin Sexton is a very good rider. But again, for me, Classical Dream, it's all about Classical Dream here. One I might have a look at each way. If 9 runners stay in, is Ashdale Bob each way without the favourite. We'll still get 3 places. Very, very good form earlier on. In over hurdles, hasn't been in really good form of late, or maybe in a year or so, or well over a year. But Jessica Harrington trains. If anyone can bring back one, it is Jessica. Her horses haven't been firing, but she's had a winner in the last week or so. So again, she knows all about turning around form. But for me, Classical Dream, they should be all chasing his tail home here. That brings us to the 4th race on the card. It's the Adair Manor Opportunity Hurdle over 2.5 miles. We've got 18 runners lined up here, a super competitive handicap, but it's one of these handicaps we relish. I like one here down near the bottom of the weights. The Barry Connon trained 0-1 ridden Hostage to Fortune. He won a beginner's chase over the course and distance, obviously here in November, and then he went back over hurdles. I was reading quotes after this horse won here at GOWRAN, and Barry was saying he had a very good mark over hurdles, and he was going to maybe not exploit it, but take advantage of it, and that's why he ran over hurdles. He was third, but I thought he was very good third. He travelled well. I thought he pulled away from. There was a big. I think there could have been 15 or 16 runners in it, and although he was third, he was well clear of the fourth and the remaining. He travelled well, but he was over 2 miles 7. He's coming back to 2.5 miles. So I expect him to go 2 for 2 over the track and distance, albeit over different obstacles. But for me, Hostage to Fortune here each way gets my vote. That brings us to the feature race on the card. It's the Goffs Thyestes Handicap. It's over 3 miles 1. This race is so historic. What a race it's been. We've had some super winners of it. There's always a money horse in this race on the build up to it, and that was Longhouse Poet for Martin Brazel, Darragh O'Keefe. He's into 5-1. Bit short from me. Starting to move out a bit to 6-1 now again. He'd probably have to go back out to 8 or 9-1 for me to back him maybe each way. Martin Brazel knows how to win this race. He won it with number 6 Valverde, and we all know what he done. Went on to win the National. Slippers Madden in the saddle back then. Still a great record. The only amateur to ever ride the winner of the race, I think. But I'm going to look elsewhere at 2 that catches my eye here. I like to always go with 2, maybe 3 in these super big handicaps. And it's interesting because when these got declared around 10:30 Tuesday morning, I was looking at him, and Willie leaves it till final declarations at probably 12:30 before we get to see what jockeys were on it. And I didn't know who was going to ride what, but turns out Paul Townend was going to ride the horse that I thought might have a squeak here. That is Franco de Port. We all know what he was. He was a winner over his first 2 starts over fences, and that included a Grade 1, and he was second to Gurnamy. Now his form this year it hasn't been great, but it's been in Grade 1. He's coming back into handicap company. For God knows if he's ever been in handicap company. But look, you need a graded horse to win this, and he's a Grade 1 winner. He's a Grade 1 place, and I think Paul Townend taking the ride, definitely a positive. He'd have the choice of Willie's runners. So for me, each way, Franco de Port gets my vote. Another one I like each way is a Joseph O'Brien train, Scarlet and Dove. I was very smitten by this mare, sorry. She won in Limerick. She won a novice Grade 2 chase in Limerick last year, and she was one I tipped up to kind of watch and keep an eye out for. She hasn't done a whole pile since, but she hasn't run a whole lot of races, and it has been in very good company. We all know Joseph is sweet with a mare. She is lightly raced. She's off a nice weight, and Shane Fitzgerald, who's a very, very good rider. We see Joseph what he can do. He's still claiming 5, and I think they're keeping that claim for one of these handicaps. So for me, Scarlet and Dove, I think each way about 16-1. Gigginstown runner here. So Scarlet and Dove and Franco de Port each way in the Thyestes handicap chase. The second last race on the card is a beginner's chase. I don't have a whole opinion on this, but Course Sublime, Henry Bromhead, Rachel de Blackmore, she gets my vote here. If he's going to, he's had some super form. He was behind a good horse of, who was it? It was, he's been running behind, what's the name of the horse? Fernie Hollow. I couldn't think of it. But this horse is placed in the Triumph Hurdle. He's got very good form. So I think if he's going to open his account, he should in the 335. And that brings us to the last race on the card. 7-runner bumper. And we have a short price favourite with Willie Mullins' Mercury. Rich Ritchie was interviewed last weekend after the horse he has with Venetia Williams won. and he was all about this Mercury. He said Paddy really likes it. Paddy Mullins takes the mount here, obviously, and he kind of had a twinkle in his eye about this horse. So for me, I'm going to double this one up with Classical Dream in the Galmai Hurdle, and hopefully we'll land the Hopot Willie Mullins double for the day. I'm also going to have a little small smidgen on him for the champion bumper in Cheltenham, because I think if he wins here and if he wins impressively, he's going to be clipped for the champion bumper. Look, it's a cracking race card. The Thyestes handicap is the feature. It's off at 305. Boyle Sports are paying 6 places in the race, so we've 2 each way selections in it. Hopefully we land one, but I can't see him really being out of the first 6. That being said, it is one of the big tough handicaps of the year. But look, I'm really looking forward to it. As I said, if you can get down to GOWRAN, it's going to be a cracking day's racing. The race that stops the county is called it for a reason, and hopefully we get some winners on the day. I will be back again very soon to preview Dubai's 3rd week of the carnival on Friday, and some cracking national hunt racing over Saturday and Sunday. Remember, guys, if you like, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, give it a like, give it a share, and I will be back very soon. Cheers, guys.